Brad Pitt's journey with spirituality has been a profound exploration of introspection, transformation, and the search for deeper meaning. Imagine a man, standing at the crossroads of fame and inner turmoil, yearning for something more than the glitz of Hollywood. Throughout his life, Pitt has shown a deep curiosity about different religious and philosophical traditions, including Buddhism. While he has never declared himself a Buddhist, there is something beautiful about the way he connects with aspects of Buddhist philosophy, mindfulness, compassion, non-attachment, and the pursuit of inner peace. These principles have helped him navigate the immense challenges of fame, personal loss, and self-discovery. Early life and disconnection from traditional religion. Brad Pitt's story begins in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and unfolds in Springfield, Missouri, where he grew up in a deeply religious Southern Baptist household. Can you picture the young Brad, a bright-eyed boy attending church, following the faith with innocence and trust? His family upheld traditional Christian values, and for a long time, Pitt was a pretty religious kid. Yet, as he grew older, something began to change. He started questioning the beliefs that had been handed to him. Isn't that a journey we all take at some point, to wonder if what we've been taught truly resonates with the deepest parts of ourselves? Pitt has spoken openly about his struggle with traditional organized religion. He described feeling confined by the rigid rules and dogmas that defined the Christianity of his youth. By the time he reached early adulthood, Pitt had distanced himself from the church, driven by an increasing skepticism of religion. He wanted something deeper, something that went beyond the confines of traditional faith. Haven't we all, at some point, felt that hunger, that desire for a spiritual experience that is more personal, more profound? This longing led Pitt to explore other philosophical and spiritual traditions, including Buddhism. Interest in Buddhism and Eastern philosophies. Buddhism's approach to spirituality, with its emphasis on personal experience and introspection over rigid doctrine, resonated deeply with Brad Pitt. It's as if, for the first time, he could breathe freely, he could explore spirituality without the chains of dogma. Unlike Western religions that often emphasize adherence to a specific set of beliefs, Buddhism encourages personal exploration and the pursuit of truth through direct experience, qualities that Pitt found incredibly liberating. It's no wonder that his evolving spirituality aligns so well with the Buddhist path, a path where each person is encouraged to seek their own truth. Pitt was also drawn to mindfulness, that beautiful practice of bringing focused awareness to the present moment. Can you imagine the pressure of being one of Hollywood's biggest stars, constantly under the scrutiny of millions? Fame, with all its glamour, can be isolating, leaving one vulnerable to loneliness and anxiety. Mindfulness, with its gentle invitation to embrace the present moment, offered Pitt a way to find balance amidst the chaos. The idea of living in the now has been a powerful tool for him, helping him stay centered even when the world around him feels like it's spinning out of control. The Buddhist principle of impermanence, the understanding that everything is in a constant state of change, also deeply resonated with Pitt, especially during times of personal turmoil. Life is full of highs and lows, isn't it? From high-profile relationships and heart-wrenching breakups to battles with addiction, Pitt has experienced it all. The idea that both joy and suffering are transient has brought him comfort, a reminder that this too shall pass. In Buddhism, we are taught to accept the fleeting nature of life, to embrace both beauty and pain without clinging. And in Pitt's journey, this acceptance has been key to finding peace. Influence of Angelina Jolie and family. It's fascinating to see how love and family shape our spiritual paths. Brad Pitt's relationship with Angelina Jolie played a significant role in deepening his exposure to Buddhist principles. Jolie herself has a connection with Buddhism, particularly through her experiences in Cambodia, where she adopted her eldest son, Maddox. Can you imagine the cultural richness of their home, the symbols, the rituals, the openness to different ways of understanding life? While Pitt never formally adopted Buddhist practices, his exposure to them undoubtedly influenced his perspective on spirituality. Jolie and Pitt wanted their children to grow up with an appreciation for different cultural and spiritual experiences. Buddhism, with its gentle teachings on compassion and interconnectedness, naturally became a part of their children's upbringing. Pitt witnessed and engaged with Buddhist practices intimately, seeing their impact on family life, on parenting, and on love. In those quiet moments, amidst the chaos of fame and parenthood, Pitt found himself embracing values of empathy and understanding, values that speak to the very core of Buddhism. The search for inner peace and mindfulness practices. The years following his separation from Angelina Jolie were a time of deep introspection for Brad Pitt. Imagine the pain of a public breakup, the loneliness that follows, the sense of being unmoored. He spoke candidly about his struggles with alcoholism, about hitting rock bottom, and about his journey to reclaim himself. It was during these trying times that Pitt began engaging more deeply with practices like mindfulness and meditation, practices that align beautifully with Buddhist teachings. Sitting with one's emotions, without judgment, is one of the hardest things to do, but also one of the most rewarding. Pitt's approach to spirituality became about finding peace within himself, about learning to confront his vulnerabilities and embrace his imperfections. Isn't that what we all seek? To find a way to be at peace with who we are, flaws and all? In many ways, Pitt's journey mirrors the essence of meditation, observing, accepting, and letting go. His film Ad Astra is a striking reflection of this personal journey. In the movie, Pitt plays an emotionally distant astronaut on a quest for meaning, a journey that echoes his own search for inner peace. The themes of isolation, connection, and the quest for deeper truths are reminiscent of Buddhist teachings on suffering and the human condition. It's as if, through his art, Pitt is also telling his own story, a story of looking inward, of seeking answers beyond the material world. Compassion and humanitarian efforts. Buddhism teaches that compassion, or karuna, is one of the highest virtues we can cultivate, a way to connect deeply with the suffering of others. And isn't compassion exactly what the world needs more of? Brad Pitt's humanitarian efforts reflect this value beautifully. Alongside Angelina Jolie, he has been involved in numerous charitable projects, showing a genuine desire to make a difference in the lives of those less fortunate. One of Pitt's notable initiatives is the Make It Right Foundation, which aimed to build sustainable housing for those affected by Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. What drives someone to step out of their comfort zone and dedicate themselves to helping others? For Pitt, it's a recognition of interconnectedness, the understanding that we are all part of the same human family. His actions echo the Buddhist belief that true happiness comes not from accumulating wealth or fame but from contributing to the well-being of others. The non-dogmatic approach to spirituality. Brad Pitt's spirituality is unique in its openness, an ongoing journey of seeking without the need for labels. He has described himself as someone who is always searching, unwilling to settle into any one set of beliefs but open to exploring different perspectives. Isn't there something beautiful in that? In a world that often demands certainty, Pitt's willingness to embrace the unknown, to remain curious, is deeply inspiring. His approach is reminiscent of the Buddhist spirit, encouraging questioning, exploration, and the pursuit of wisdom through personal experience. Pitt's interest in Buddhism is not about formal practice but about embracing the insights that resonate with his life. The idea of non-attachment, for instance, has been particularly significant for him. Fame, relationships, possessions, all these things are fleeting. Learning to let go, to accept the impermanence of everything, has been crucial for Pitt as he navigates life's ups and downs. And isn't that a lesson for all of us? To find freedom not in clinging but in letting go, to understand that peace lies not in control but in acceptance. A personal and evolving journey. Brad Pitt's connection to Buddhism is, at its core, a deeply personal journey, one that continues to evolve as he grows. His interest in mindfulness, compassion, non-attachment, and impermanence reflects a profound desire to find meaning and inner peace. He may not identify as a Buddhist, but his journey mirrors the paths of so many who seek to understand themselves and the world more deeply. Think about the roles Pitt plays, characters searching for meaning, grappling with inner conflict, yearning for peace. There's an authenticity in those portrayals that speaks to his own life. It's as if, through his art, Pitt is exploring the very questions that define his spiritual journey, questions about connection, suffering, and the quest for truth. Ultimately, Brad Pitt's spirituality is not about labels or doctrines, it's about the courage to keep searching, to remain vulnerable, and to strive for authenticity. His openness to Buddhist teachings and his efforts to live with compassion, mindfulness, and acceptance are a reminder that spirituality is not about what we call ourselves, but about how we live our lives. For Pitt, the journey is not about reaching a destination but about embracing the path, one step at a time, with all the beauty and pain that life has to offer. The influence of fame on spiritual exploration. Fame is often seen as the ultimate goal, a pinnacle of success that promises happiness, fulfillment, and a sense of worth. But for Brad Pitt, fame has been a double-edged sword. While it brought him wealth, influence, and the ability to pursue his artistic dreams, it also left him grappling with a deep sense of emptiness. The public adoration and the relentless spotlight could never fill the void that he felt within. Isn't it ironic how the very thing we chase, thinking it will complete us, often leaves us feeling more fragmented than before? Pitt has openly discussed the isolating nature of fame, the way it strips away privacy and leaves one vulnerable to constant scrutiny. For years, he struggled with this reality, trying to find meaning amidst the superficiality of Hollywood. It was during these challenging times that his exploration of spirituality took on new significance. Buddhism's teachings on non-attachment and the fleeting nature of worldly success offered him a lifeline, a way to navigate the pressures of fame without losing himself in the process. Imagine being surrounded by people, yet feeling completely alone. Fame can be a lonely place, and for Pitt, this loneliness became a catalyst for deeper introspection. He realized that true fulfillment could not be found in external achievements or in the validation of others. Instead, it had to come from within. This realization led him to seek out practices that could help him cultivate inner peace, practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection. Through these practices, Pitt began to find a sense of grounding that fame could never provide. Meditation as a path to self-discovery. Meditation has been a powerful tool for Brad Pitt in his journey toward self-discovery. The practice of sitting in stillness, observing one's thoughts, and letting go of judgment has allowed him to connect with a deeper part of himself, a part that is not defined by his roles, his fame, or his past. In many ways, meditation has become a sanctuary for Pitt, a place where he can strip away the layers of his public persona and simply be. The beauty of meditation lies in its simplicity. There are no requirements, no rituals, no need to prove anything. It is just you, your breath, and the present moment. For Pitt, this simplicity has been profoundly healing. In a world that constantly demands more success, more productivity, more perfection, meditation offers a space where he can let go of those demands and simply exist. Isn't that what we all crave at times? A moment to just be, without the weight of expectations? Through meditation, Pitt has learned to observe his thoughts without getting caught up in them. He has spoken about the importance of facing his fears, his insecurities, and his pain, not to judge them or push them away, but to understand them. This kind of introspection is at the heart of Buddhist practice. It is about turning inward, facing the parts of ourselves that we often try to avoid, and finding compassion for those parts. For Pitt, meditation has been a way to cultivate this kind of self-compassion, to embrace his flaws and see them as part of the human experience. The role of art in spiritual expression. Art has always been a powerful form of expression for Brad Pitt. Through his roles, he has explored the depths of the human condition, love, loss, longing, redemption. But what if art is more than just a craft? What if it is also a spiritual practice? For Pitt, acting is not just about playing a character, it is about connecting with something deeper, something universal. It is about tapping into the shared human experience and bringing it to life on screen. In films like The Tree of Life and Ad Astra, Pitt has taken on roles that are deeply introspective, exploring themes of existence, purpose, and connection. These films are not just entertainment, they are meditations on what it means to be human. In The Tree of Life, Pitt plays a father struggling to understand the meaning of life and the nature of suffering. The film is a visual and emotional journey that raises profound questions about the nature of existence, questions that are central to Pitt's own spiritual journey. Ad Astra, too, is a deeply personal film for Pitt. The story of an astronaut traveling to the far reaches of the solar system in search of his father is, at its core, a story about the search for meaning. It is a story about isolation, the longing for connection, and the realization that what we seek is often closer than we think. These themes resonate deeply with Pitt's own experiences, his struggles with loneliness, his desire for deeper connection, and his journey toward self-discovery. Through his art, Pitt is able to explore these themes in a way that is both personal and universal, a way that speaks to the shared human experience. The impact of relationships on spiritual growth. Relationships have played a significant role in Brad Pitt's spiritual journey. His high-profile relationships, particularly with Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie, have been the subject of intense media scrutiny. But beyond the headlines, these relationships have been a source of profound growth for Pitt. They have challenged him, broken him open, and ultimately led him to a deeper understanding of himself. Pitt has spoken about the pain of his divorce from Angelina Jolie and the impact it had on his life. The end of their relationship was a turning point for him, a moment that forced him to confront his own shortcomings and take responsibility for his actions. It was a time of deep pain, but also a time of transformation. Isn't it often through our greatest challenges that we experience the most growth? The Buddhist concept of dukkha, often translated as suffering or dissatisfaction, is central to understanding the human experience. Pitt's relationships have brought him face to face with dukkha, forcing him to confront the reality that life is inherently imperfect and that true happiness cannot be found in external circumstances. This realization has been a catalyst for his spiritual growth, leading him to seek out practices that help him find peace within himself rather than relying on others for his sense of worth. Through his relationships, Pitt has also learned about the importance of compassion, both for others and for himself. He has spoken about the need to forgive, to let go of resentment, and to approach others with empathy. This is a key teaching in Buddhism, the idea that true compassion begins with understanding our own suffering and extending that understanding to others. For Pitt, this has meant letting go of the past, accepting his own flaws, and striving to be a better person for those he loves. The power of vulnerability. One of the most inspiring aspects of Brad Pitt's journey is his willingness to be vulnerable. In a culture that often equates vulnerability with weakness, Pitt has shown that true strength lies in the ability to be open, to admit one's mistakes, and to embrace one's imperfections. He has spoken openly about his struggles with addiction, his mistakes in his relationships, and his journey towards self-improvement. This kind of honesty is rare, especially in the world of Hollywood, where image is everything. Vulnerability is a key aspect of the spiritual path. It is about dropping the mask, letting go of the need to appear perfect, and embracing the truth of who we are, flaws and all. For Pitt, this has meant acknowledging his pain, his fears, and his mistakes, and using them as a catalyst for growth. It is through this vulnerability that he has been able to connect with others on a deeper level, both in his personal life and through his art. The Buddhist concept of anatta, or not self, teaches that the self is not a fixed, unchanging entity, but rather a fluid and evolving process. Pitt's journey is a testament to this truth. He is not the same person he was in his youth, nor is he defined by the mistakes of his past. He is constantly evolving, constantly growing, and constantly striving to be a better version of himself. This willingness to change, to let go of old identities and embrace new possibilities, is at the heart of the spiritual journey. Finding meaning in the midst of chaos. Life is full of chaos, uncertainty, and change. For Brad Pitt, the journey has been about finding meaning in the midst of that chaos, about embracing the impermanence of life and finding peace in the present moment. Buddhism teaches that true happiness is not found in the external world, but in the way we relate to that world. It is about cultivating a sense of equanimity, a calm, balanced mind that is not swayed by the ups and downs of life. Pitt has found this sense of equanimity through his spiritual practices, through meditation, mindfulness, and the cultivation of compassion. He has learned that happiness is not about avoiding pain or seeking constant pleasure, but about embracing the full spectrum of the human experience. It is about finding beauty in the midst of pain, joy in the midst of sorrow, and peace in the midst of chaos. In a world that often feels overwhelming, Pitt's journey is a reminder that we all have the ability to find meaning and peace within ourselves. It is a reminder that the true path to happiness lies not in the pursuit of external success, but in the cultivation of inner wisdom, compassion, and understanding. For Pitt, the journey is far from over. It is an ongoing process of growth, discovery, and transformation. And isn't that what makes life so beautiful? The fact that we are always evolving, always learning, and always capable of finding new ways to connect with ourselves and the world around us. Embracing the present moment. One of the most profound lessons that Brad Pitt has learned through his spiritual journey is the importance of embracing the present moment. In a world that is constantly pulling us in different directions, it is easy to get caught up in the past or worry about the future. But true peace can only be found in the present, in the here and now. This is a central teaching in Buddhism, and it is one that has had a profound impact on Pitt's life. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment, has been a cornerstone of Pitt's spiritual practice. Through mindfulness, he has learned to appreciate the beauty of the present moment, to let go of regrets about the past, and to release anxiety about the future. It is through this practice that he has found a sense of peace and contentment, even in the midst of life's challenges. The practice of mindfulness has also allowed Pitt to connect more deeply with the people in his life. He has spoken about the importance of being present with his children, of truly listening to them, and of creating meaningful moments together. In a world that is often filled with distractions, mindfulness has allowed him to cultivate deeper connections and to appreciate the simple joys of life. The journey continues. Brad Pitt's journey with spirituality is far from over. It is a journey that is continually evolving, marked by a deep desire to understand himself and the world more fully. His openness to different spiritual traditions, his willingness to explore his own vulnerabilities, and his commitment to living with compassion and mindfulness are a testament to his growth as a person. In many ways, Pitt's journey is a reflection of the human experience. We are all searching for meaning, striving to understand ourselves, and seeking connection with others. We all face challenges, make mistakes, and experience moments of doubt. But it is through these experiences that we grow, that we learn, and that we find our way forward. For Brad Pitt, spirituality is not about adhering to a particular set of beliefs or practices. It is about being open, being curious, and being willing to explore the deeper questions of life. It is about finding peace within oneself, cultivating compassion for others, and embracing the present moment. It is about recognizing that the journey is not about reaching a destination, but about embracing the path, with all its twists and turns, its beauty and its pain. Ultimately, Brad Pitt's journey with spirituality is a reminder that we are all on a path of discovery. It is a reminder that true happiness is not found in fame, wealth, or external success, but in the way we relate to ourselves and the world around us. It is about finding meaning in the midst of chaos, embracing the present moment, and living with an open heart. And isn't that what we all want, to live a life that is full, meaningful, and deeply connected to the world around us?